Hey guys, welcome back again. So if any of you watched my walk around video of the Jeep TJ, I kind of showed a little glimpse of the phone mount system that I have in there. It's a Bulletpoint Mounting Solutions phone mount system with the camera mount. I actually have some other Bulletpoint products in the Jeep that I use for the doors off mirror mounts. I can show that later if anybody's interested in that. So I never had anything like that in my truck, and I just think it's time to do it. But before I get that installed, I need to solve another problem in there. It's the power supply for the phone. Let me go ahead and take you guys in there and I'll show you what I'm dealing with now. All right, so moving into the truck, you can see the white cord that I have kind of draped up and over. It comes in from the back. That's what I've been using for years. There's really not a good USB option on these trucks. So the idea is to go ahead and mount something up here on the top of the dash, out of the way. Use a short wire, take it right out to the phone mount. That's what I'm gonna go ahead and start with today. So let's take a look at the parts I got. Okay, so this is really all the parts I'm gonna need to go ahead and install that extra power supply. So I got this off Amazon. It's got two USB-Cs, one USB-A, and a power button, turn it on and off. Easy enough, drill a hole up there, mount that in, lock it together with a little nut there. Comes with a little harness, plug it in, and you're good to go. The harness probably isn't going to work for me. Maybe the ground wire, I'll be able to find just kind of a close spot up there under the dash. But I do need to run a longer wire out to a fuse box somewhere to get power when the key on. I do have some 16 gauge wire and a fuse tap. Let's get back in the truck and see what we can't figure out. In the truck, the goal is to remove this tray here. First of all, there's a rubber insert here. So there is a speaker cover here. I'm assuming there's just push clips. There you go. Set that to the side. Never had that off yet. Back to the body trim removal tool. There you go. Looks like we have to plug the speaker. So back at the bench, first thing I need to do is get a hole drilled in there so this can fit inside of it. Went ahead and measured across. The easiest way to do it was take the ring off, measure the ring. Measured it at 1 1/8 inches. So I actually do have 1 1/8 inch hole saw. So that's what I'll go ahead and drill right back here in the back. Now we can set this to the side and we'll have to go back to the truck, try to get some wires ran. So what I did first was went ahead and pulled all these covers off and accessed this fuse box on the passenger side kick panel. Just did a little research online, found that the bottom fuse over on this side is a 20 amp fuse, and it was for a heated steering wheel, which I do not have. So I just connected the fuse tap there, and should be good to go. Now I can connect the wire here, run it up under the dash, up through the console, come up and out and somewhere up into there. Alright, so I've got that light down there. Kind of, if you can see down there, you can actually see the light. There's a pretty clear path. So I just stuck one of these reacher tools down in there, grabber tool. Got it to come out the bottom. Hard to see down there, but grabbed the wire, taped it on. Should be able to just pull it up. There it is. Alright, so the wire's pulled through to the top. Comes out the side there. I'm just going to tuck it in just up above the carpet liner all the way around in here and make the connection. Alright, now that wire's all tucked in real nice. Never going to be able to see it up under the carpet. down into the fuse box there. Went ahead and made a connection to the tap, or made a connection to the pigtail on the fuse tap, put all the panels back. So now back up on the top, you can see I was able to use the ground wire that came with the actual power port. Had a ring on it. So the ground wire, all it needs to do is go to a good ground. Fortunately, there's these lugs right here. I was able to just put a nut on there, tighten it down, and I've got a good ground. Came here to the other end of the power wire, dumped a connector on. I should be able to just plug it in, be ready to go. Let's go ahead and get it all plugged in, make sure it works. So now it's all plugged in. Turn the key on. And you can see I got power there. Turn it off and on. So let's go ahead and move on to the phone mount. Now back at the bench, getting our first look at the Bulletpoint Mounting Solutions Rubigrid system for the 2017 F250. So this is how it comes. Nice box. It's foam lined, keep everything secure during shipping. It comes with all kind of stuff to kind of help you in the install. Body removal tool, Phillips screwdriver, small wrench, another little small wrench. Actually comes with the drill bit you need to drill the holes, and then mounting hardware with an Allen wrench. Also comes with a little keychain F tool, they call it. Makes it a lot easier to lock those arms down. So how this works, it's a two-part system. You got the top plate that you mount your accessories to, and then the mounting base. There's 4 screws. I went ahead and took those out. There's the mounting base. So all I have to do now is take the tray that I have in the truck, mount that right there. I'll just mark those holes, drill them out, and use the provided hardware. Before I get that far, I do want to share that since I went ahead and put the power supply in here, the back of this top plate is going to come down and it's actually going to hit that power supply. So as much as I hate to do this, I'm going to have to trim out some of this back plate. Fortunately, you'll never be able to see it. It's a shame too, because they have the nice Bulletpoint flag logo on there. It'll never be seen. So I'm going to go ahead and get these holes marked, get the holes drilled, get it mounted on there, and make some clearance on this top plate. So I'm just going to take a Sharpie, got it lined up where it needs to go, mark the center hole here. Pull that off. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. Have the mark here on the center hole. I'm just going to drill one hole to start, put one screw in, and once I get it tightened down where I need it, I'm just going to drill through the base mount for the rest of the holes. Grab the hardware, we'll get it put in there. Alright, I have one screw in there in the center just to kind of hold the base where it goes. There's the washer and the lock nut on the other side. Figured it'd be pretty easy just now that it's mounted where it's not going to move, drill all the rest of the 4 holes out. I got the base mounted good and solid here. All 5 screws in, washers and lock nuts there on the back. So ready to put the top plate on, kind of see where I need to clearance it out. Again, if you buy this system, you don't put this USB plug down in there, you're not going to have that issue. But I figured if I was doing this, I'm going to go ahead and solve the problem of cord management that I've been dealing with. So this is what I got to do. Looks like I just need to just take a little bit off here on the side, up, I don't know, a ½ inch or so. I'll start with that. So I ended up getting enough clearance out of there to be able to let the top plate sit flush and plug in the USB cables. It is kind of tight. Looks like it'd be pretty difficult to take them out once everything's mounted in there. Maybe I'll get some kind of 90-degree cables or something, but for now it should work pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and run the cables up through the top of the plate. So now's the time to go ahead and mount all the accessories. It's gonna be a lot easier to do it here before it gets in the truck. So when I got the Rubigrid system, I didn't really get any accessories with it except one ball mount. So I had two other ball mounts from another system. I'll mount those just like that. That'll be closest to the dash. And I also have another mount. This is just a flange connector. It's got a 1/4-20 thread on it. I got it for a camera and just really didn't work the way that I thought it would. Since I have it, I'm gonna go ahead and mount it here on the Rubigrid. So I just have a nut on it now. I'll take that off, and there's a 1/4-20 thread right here in the top of the mount. It may sit here and never get used, but I guess it's better than sitting in a drawer somewhere. So let me go ahead and get all these mounted on. This one's just gonna thread down in there, and all these ball mounts are just through bolts down to the top of the plate. So finally, here's everything attached to the top plate. Top plate's attached to the mounting base, and the mounting base is attached to the dash insert tray that goes back in the truck. So I don't know if you can see all that, but I have the three 20mm ball mounts and the flange mount there in the back. Like I said, I don't know if I'll ever end up using it, but it's there if I ever need to. And a couple power cords coming out, one for my phone, one for the camera for now. And again, here in the back, you see where I had to clearance it out, and hated to do that to the Bulletpoint mount. Sorry, Bulletpoint, but I can just never leave well enough alone. It was really important to me to have the power wires up here in the top, and that's just what I had to do to make it happen. So let's go ahead and get this thing back installed in the truck. All I have to do is screw down the two screws that I initially took out, and then here in the front, just pop these little tabs right back in place. Let me get it in there. All right, guys, back here in the truck. Finally got this thing mounted down, all adjusted. Added my arms on there. This is everything that I already previously had, except the 20mm ball mounts. So far, it looks like everything's gonna work pretty good. One thing that I didn't realize with this mount being so far up on the dash, really had to bring everything out to me. I initially wanted to put the camera mount straight up and down, but I couldn't reach it. So I brought it back out here to me. And then you can see that flange mount that I installed on there. I honestly doubt I'll ever use that. It's just too far back. I always thought about possibly doing some kind of wireless rear camera for the RV, for the fifth wheel that I have, just to be able to see backing up. So I'm trying to keep my options open for something like that, maybe in the future. And I've got another 20mm ball mount over here for the passenger side. I do still have the magnet mount. It's kind of where I started with this. Just phone just kept falling off. This is way more rock solid mount. So this is the Bulletpoint Mounting Solutions Rubigrid system for the 2017 F250. Again, I really hated to cut the mount like I did, but in order to have the extra phone charging, just kind of had to be done. You can see sitting here in the cab, you can't see any of the cuts that I did, so I don't really think it's going to affect anything. I'm really happy with the Bulletpoint Solutions mount that I have in the Jeep, and I can already tell that I'm going to really like this setup. Alright guys, well thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.